Hi guys, Beverly Moyers for discussion number 11 for Vivid Share. Mine's quite personal, so if I have to stop and pause for a minute, bear with me. Also, keep in mind that it might be a little much for some people. I don't know people's opinions, but so earlier this year, in May, shortly after we started this module, actually, my dad had been having medical issues for the last couple years. Back in February, he actually had a stroke and had to have surgery done where they went in and cleaned out his artery on one side of his neck because it was 60% blocked and the other side was 100% blocked, but his artery doesn't go straight up and down. It did like a loop-de-loop thing, so they also straightened out that artery so that way he would have a more direct blood flow to his brain. So surgery went fine and everything was good, and he was home, and he'd been home for months. While I was sitting on my couch, it was middle of the day, probably about 1:30, 1:40 in the afternoon. Mind you, May is a pretty time of the year. It was sunny and warm and just an overall really, really pretty day, nice. I was sitting on the couch working on, I believe it was like my microbiology actually. And my mom called me and told me to come over. I asked her what happened, and she's like, just get here now. So I get in the car and I head over to my mom's house, and as I'm rounding the third corner to her house, I actually have to pull over to the side of the road because a police car is speeding past me. And as they were coming up to the corner, I was just praying that they would turn left, not right, because I knew if they turned right, they were going to my mom's house. Well, obviously they turned right, and they went in the direction of my mom's house. So I'm speeding up faster. My heart is racing. I'm going 100 miles a minute. Not literally, obviously, but my heart is. I round the corner. I park, throw the car in park. I get out. I left everything in the car. I left my keys, my phone, everything was just in my vehicle. I slammed the door. I run up to my mom's front porch, and she's crying. And if anybody knows my mom, they know that she's not an emotional person. It takes a lot to make her emotional. 9 times out of 10, it has something to do with one of her animals. But she's hysterical. She's crying, and she's telling me, he's dead, he's dead. And I'm like, who's dead? She's like, your dad. Like, I burst into tears. I'm like, no, he's not. My dad's not dead. Like, I just talked to him 20 minutes ago. I run in the house. I open the door, and he's laying on the ground by his chair. He's blue in the face, and he's just laying there. He's not moving. And I remember calling out to him and just crying. Obviously, he didn't respond to me, and with all the efforts of the police department and the emergency people, he didn't make it. They performed CPR, and it's assumed that he had a massive heart attack and that he was gone before he even hit the ground. But for me, this is the experience that is the most vivid in my mind that I could share with you guys. I'm sorry for the emotions that go along with it, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks, guys.